Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strat Gamer here, providing you with a new Anno 1800 episode today. And we are back in Crownfall on my beauty building series. If you don't know about this series, don't hesitate to check it out at the top now. But we're not going to look at it. We're going to look at a new mod today called the Persistent Needs by Lusa23. This mod is quite interesting because usually when you think about mod, you think about making the game easier. This mod actually makes the game slightly harder. So that's an interesting take for today. But that's also something I've seen a lot of people request in the recent weeks and months is how can we get a new challenge in the game? A lot of people I think have sort of done what they can. They've played on expert difficulty and all of that. If you do want to check out my series for the French Revolution, this is my attempt at making the game more challenging. I put a lot of rules on myself that are very, very hard. So don't hesitate to check out that series that will appear now at the top. And just before we dive in, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you like strategy games, city building games, simulations. That's exactly what I cover from Anno, but also other games. So don't hesitate to subscribe so you never miss another video, and you also help support the channel. Okay, now diving into this mod. Right, one thing I do want to say is that this mod is not compatible with the royal tax removed from Spice It Up. So if you're using Spice It Up, do be careful about that. And just in general, it is true that sometimes mods don't really work together, right? So where usually do save before and things like this before using a new mod. So what is this mod do? So let me show you. When you start, and this is your farmer, right? They need the basic, the market, the fish and work clothes, and they have a few also happiness needs like schnapps and the pub. Classic, nothing changes much here. And when you increase to the workers, these needs are still here, but you add new ones like the sausage, the bread, the soap, and the school here. But usually when you then go to the artisan, instead of just adding more goods, more needs to the bottom, some starts to disappear. In particular, the market, the fish, and the workloads disappear, and you have new ones. Now with this mod, that changes, where not all of them do disappear. So one disappeared, like the market, but actually the fish and the workloads stayed. And this similarly on the happiness side, where actually the schnapps and church both stayed. And that with this mod, it continues to the engineers, where the engineers still require schnapps and also the beer. They still require fish, workloads, sausage, etc., which usually have disappeared by that time. And even worse for your investor who basically need, it's not everything, right? You can see that it's not everything, but almost. And the same on that side for the happiness. So you can see immediately how it makes the game a bit harder, where you're really gonna need to continue increasing your production of all goods, and you can't really have those investor only island where you're producing very few goods. This is basically the main thing about this mod. There are definitely details. I'm going to go into them now, but this is the sort of core element of this mod. Is the new needs don't really vanish; they just stay there. So there, as I said, there's a number of other changes, and in particular, it is on things like consumption level and income levels. Of course, as always, I'm posting in the description below the link to this mod, and you can see in that description, exactly what I'm talking about on consumption and income. This is to, not make the game impossible, basically, all right? Because if you would just increase the consumption, that wouldn't really help. based on this, there's actually also of other elements. For example, one big thing that happened when I loaded this mode is that I immediately went into my workforce was negative because due to changes in consumption reduction, word snaps and word closes, the workforce for this production is actually doubled to need more farmers. And that, made me obviously go into negative. And there's a couple of other node elements like the items, the happiness effect, um, some policies. So I won't go into all of those details, but because I don't think that's what you're here for. You're here just to discover a new mode, and I think now you have discovered it. I do think this is a very interesting mode, especially maybe you're doing something like a one island challenge. Doing a one island challenge, and you want to make it really hard. Well, this is for you, right? You're going to just add and add new needs on top, so that's a great one. Okay, so as always, don't hesitate to share any thoughts, feedback, suggestion that you may have. I'll be happy to hear about it. And otherwise, hope to see you next time.